Hello students, I am here with another video from the chapter of class 10th NCERT book, that is Carbon and its Compounds. Before starting today's video, I would like to tell you all that till now what all things we have discussed in this chapter. So we started with the chapter with the introduction of this carbon. Where is this present? So the carbon is it is one of the substance, it is one of the element which is present in the living as well as non-living objects. Okay, if it is present in living as well as non-living things. If we talk about the presence of carbon in the living things, it is present in the plants, animals, even in the human beings also. Okay, we have also seen that this carbon is present in the abiotic factors also, it is present in the non-living things also in the form of fossil fuels, and it is present even in the form of minerals, in the form of coal and the other another forms of carbon which is related to that. Okay, next we have also seen that what are the properties of carbon, why so special is this carbon. So this carbon is so special because of certain properties, that is like catenation, which is the property of forming a long chain of carbon interconnection, or the interlinking of the carbon is there. From one carbon atom is attached with another carbon atom, so this forms a long chain, and this is known as catenation power. Then next, why this catenation is taking place? It is taking place because of the presence of the covalent bonds. Now what are these covalent bonds? Covalent bonds means it is a bond, it is the force of attraction which is formed within this carbon atoms, because of which what happens, the electrons are being shared. So what is so special about this covalent bond? The speciality of this covalent bond is that the carbon can share its 4 pairs of electrons. 4 electrons are not 4 pairs, only 4 electrons are present. So one more property of the carbon is that it is having 4 electrons in its valence shell, and due to the presence of this 4 electrons in the valence shell, it is having valency 4. Okay, so it is tetravalent. So what is the meaning of this tetravalent? Tetravalent means it is having the valency of 4, so it could combine, it is having the combining capacity of 4. It could combine with it is going to combine with 4 atoms of carbon or 4 other atoms of different elements. Okay, so this could combine with the 4 other atoms, and it could share the electrons as well. So this was about the properties of carbon, because of which it becomes so special. So that is why the versatility of carbon is being shown. Next, we have seen that because of this versatility, it is also forming different forms. And the forms of carbon where the properties remain same, whereas the physical properties could be, it is varied upon the chemical properties, and its nature is going to be different. So this is going to form the different, there are different forms of carbon. This is known as the allotropes of carbon. So we have discussed 3 allotropes of carbon. The first was diamond, second was the graphite, and the third was the Buckminster fullerenes, which is also known as C60. Okay, so we have seen about these allotropes of carbon, where the diamond is the hardest substance, or it is the hardest form of the carbon. And then we have seen about the graphite. This graphite is very much different from the diamond, because it is soft, it is going to be a conductor of electricity, whereas this diamond was not the conductor of electricity. Okay children, so next we have seen about the Buckminster fullerenes, which is another allotrope of carbon, which is having carbon 60, means it is also known as C60 just because it is having 60 carbon atoms. Okay, and here in the diamond, this diamond is being joined with, one atom is joined with 4 more atoms of carbon in diamond, whereas in 3 it is joined with 3 carbon atoms in the graphite form. So this diamond is having the tetrahedral structure, whereas this graphite is having hexagonal structure. Then it is black and opaque. This diamond is transparent, and it is colorless. So we have also seen about the different organic compounds, because of which this organic compound is formed. They are having low melting point, and this is the difference between ionic and the covalent compounds. So ionic compound is very strong. It is formed because of the transference of electrons. Okay children, so this was about the ionic as well as the covalent compound, and then in the last class we have discussed about the hydrocarbons. Okay, so this in we have discussed about the hydrocarbons. Now in this only we need to discuss about alkanes. What are these alkanes? Alkanes were the single bonded species of carbon. They were having single bond. Okay, so they had single bond between carbon and carbon, and this was forming different types of with the general formula. There was some general formula also. So we have discussed about the alkanes with the general formula CnH2n+2, and I told you how to write the general formula and how to substitute this N, where N stands for the number of carbon atoms, and we have seen how to form these alkanes. Fine. And we have also made some of the members of this alkane, and also I told you about one more type, that is this alkyl group. What is this alkyl group? Alkyl group was the same methane, propane and butane. From this one H atom is being subtracted from this. Okay, so one atom of hydrogen was just in less in number, so it becomes alkyl group. Okay, so for example, the alkyl group, the methyl group, if you need to write the methyl group, we need to write the methyl group. So how you can write, because I have told you how to write the names now, so I mean not in detail, but still you know some points, that in this alkyl group we need to write the root word, which is known as meth, eth, prop. Okay, so this but. Okay, so this I have told you. Now after that you need to write ane, because it is the alkyl, this is the alkane group. But if we are writing alkyl group, so this root word remains same, because this root word is based upon the number of carbon atoms. Okay, it is based upon the number of carbon atoms. So this alkyl group also will be same as that of the one hydrogen is just less. So for this methyl group, if you need to write the methyl group, you have to write this CH4. So here instead of writing CH4, if you are writing the alkyl group, it becomes CH3. Okay, so it becomes CH3. Fine. So this is about the alkyl group, and from where is this one H is coming? This one H is coming just because of the decrease in this hydrogen atom, because it is the alkyl group. Fine. Similarly, if methyl group, if you need to write the ethyl group, then what happens? So in ethyl group it was C2H6. Okay, it was C2H6. For ethyl group, what has to be written? For ethyl group, we need to write about the it was carbon, C2H6. Okay, but for ethyl group, C2H5 would be there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. This hydrogen atom will be subtracted. Okay, so this was about the alkyl group. Now children, I have also taught you about the starting of the homologous series. Now what is that homologous series? I must tell you. Okay, so what is this homologous series? What is this homologous series? So this homologous series means homo means same. So here if we talk about the homologous series, means we are talking about certain same things of this alkanes. Okay, so we need to only study about the concentrate only upon this alkane. So I am just telling you about this homologous series of alkanes only. Now how to write the homologous series of alkane, and what is how we are going to define this homologous series. Now we can see that the carbon atoms can be linked together to form chains of varying length. In addition to that, hydrogen atoms can also be present in that, which could be replaced by certain groups, but we are not using those functional groups, so we are just omitting it. So we can always connect these carbon atoms with the hydrogen. Okay, so number of hydrogen is also equally important. As it is equally important, this carbon atoms are important. Okay, if we are taking the lesser number of hydrogen atom, it means we are not going to form the compound. So the property of the compound is going to be, means this is also indicating the properties of compound. So this homologous series for alkane or for just homologous series could be defined as it is the arrangement of the members of the carbon atoms which is fixed, carbon and hydrogen atom. Okay, so this is the fixed series, or it is a fixed an arrangement of the members of the homologous series. It is the members that is based upon the number of carbon and hydrogen atom. Fine, so these members are going to be arranged, and the members are known as homologs. Okay, what is this known as? This is known as the homologs. Okay, so the members of each series is known as the homologs. This is known as homolog. Okay, now the next member, another member is known as the homolog. Now how we will write the series for this alkane? Let's see the rules for writing this homologous series of alkane. Okay, so what are the characteristics of the features of homologous series? Okay, so what is the features of this homologous series? So this the homologous series, also the member of homologous series is represented for alkanes. I mean we are writing now how we can write the alkanes. So what is the first characteristic, the first feature of this homologous series for writing the homologous series of alkane is that it is always represented by same general formula. For same, it is going to write, we can write this alkanes with same general formula. Okay, now what is that same general formula? The formula is CnH2n plus 2. So this was the general formula for alkane. So we have already written how this general formula could be used, because this could be used by writing H meth prop but, okay, with by substituting the number of carbon as well as the hydrogen atom in it. Now next property is that for all alkanes in the series, it is going to follow the same general formula. Okay, so whether the element is having one carbon, so it is also following the same thing. Okay, so this could be 4. Now if we need to write down the second member C2H6, third member C3H8. Similarly, we can write down the by this we can easily write down the formula for writing this alkane. So writing this homologous series. Then again C4H10. So you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons are there. H is also increasing in the same number, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, in the same manner it is going to increase because it is having CnH2n plus 2. The same general formula is there. Okay, so this is following the same general formula, and we can write down the homologous series. And okay, so these were the homologs. As I had just now I have written CH4, C2H6, C3H8. Okay, so these are known as the homologs. These are the members of homologous series, and they are known as the homologs. These are known as the homolog of the alkane series. Okay, so this was about the homologous series for the first characteristic. Now the second feature of this homologous series is that the any two adjacent homologs will differ by 1 carbon atom and 2 hydrogen atoms. Okay, so what is the second characteristic? The second characteristic of this homologous series is that it is going to the two adjacent members will differ by 1 carbon and 2 hydrogen atoms. Okay, if two homologs we will compare as C2H6 is there, then C3H8 is there, C4H10 is there. We could see, so it is carbon is increasing by 1 and hydrogen is increasing by 2 atoms. So these homologs are going to be increased in the same manner as one carbon will increase and one hydrogen is going to increase. Fine. So this general formula remains same. To maintain a general formula, it is going to increase in the similar proportion. Okay. Now it is not going to change. Next thing is that the difference of the masses of the two adjacent homologue is 140. What is the third point? The third point is that the mass of two homologues will be the difference, okay, the difference in the masses. So the mass of the two homologues will be a difference in the masses of the different homologues, means two adjacent homologues, if we are comparing, it is going to form, it is going to tell us the difference would be about 14U. Okay, that would be about 14U. Now how will you prove this? We could easily prove this by writing the first homologue of alkane is CH4 and the second homologue is C2H6. For example, we will write the mass of this carbon and hydrogen. Mass of the carbon is 12 and what is the mass of hydrogen? That is 1. Now here C and H is 4. So 12 plus 4 into 1, that becomes 12 plus 4. That is how much? That becomes 12, 16. Okay. Then next is 12, here 12 into 2 plus 4 into 6, oh sorry, 1 into 6. So it becomes 24 plus 6, it becomes how much? 24 plus 6, 30. Okay, now if you subtract this, so what would be the answer for this? If you are going to subtract this, 30 minus 16, how much? 10 minus 6, it is 4. 2 minus 1 is 1. That is 14U. Okay, now if you compare the next one, C3H8. Now here, 12 into 3 plus 1 into 8. 36 plus 8. How much? Okay, now how would you calculate this? So this would have, if you were going to add to 36 plus 8, it becomes 44. Okay, so it becomes 44. Now next, if you are going to subtract this 44 then 30, it becomes 44 minus 30, how much? 4 and 14. So the difference would always come 14U. So the difference between this mass of the two adjacent homologues would be how much? This is 14U. Okay, so what is the difference between the masses of these adjacent homologues? That would be 14U. Okay, so this was about the homologous series, the third rule of the homologous series. Now the next rule is that all the compounds, all of them, so the fourth rule says that all the homologues or all the compounds of this homologous series will have similar chemical properties. Okay, so it has similar chemical properties, children. Fine. So this was about the fourth rule and the fifth rule. It is the fifth characteristic is that the gradual change in the physical properties would be there. So the melting point and the boiling point will also increase. Fine. So it is going to increase the boiling point because of the increase in the carbon and hydrogen atom. As one carbon is increasing, two hydrogens are increasing, this is definitely going to differ its physical properties, because of which what happens, this is going to form a new type of, it is having some changes in the physical properties, that is, it is increasing its boiling point, and if it is increasing its boiling point, then what happens, it is going to, this would be the change in the physical property of this carbon atom. So the homologous series of alkane would have the general formula CnH2n plus 2. Then the second point was that two adjacent homologs of the carbon atoms of this carbon compound or this homologous series is going to differ by one carbon and two hydrogen atoms. Third was this the difference in the masses of two homologs, the difference would come about 14 U. So what is the difference? It is about 14 U, and we have also calculated the difference in the masses of the two homologs, two adjacent homologs. Okay, I'm not talking about two different homologs, two adjacent homologs. If we are going to subtract this, so this is going to give you the same result as 14 U will be different. Difference of 14 U would be obtained. Now there is a gradual change in the physical properties of these chemical compounds, of these compounds of the carbon, just because of the increase in the masses. Because the increase in the mass is gradually because of the presence of the definite number of the carbon and the hydrogen atom, because of which what happens, the boiling point is also going to increase when we are moving from the homologous series. Now if you need to write down the homologous series of alkane, what would be the members of the homologous series of alkane? So how would you write? So the general formula for alkane is CnH2n plus 2. Okay, now next would be the homologous series of alkane starts from the root word meth, eth, prop, bute. Okay, it could be penthex. Okay, I have already told you how to use them. So carbon number 1 is there, carbon number 2, carbon number 3, and carbon number 4. So here how would you write? CnH2n plus 1 plus 2 plus then here the first member would be CH4. Okay, then C2H6, then C3H8, then C4H10, similarly C5H12. Okay, so this series is going to go like that. So this, in this, carbon atom is difference by 1 and hydrogen atom would be differing by 2. Okay, this is going to increase C5H12. Similarly, this is going on increasing, so this becomes pentane. This is methane. So what would be its name? Its name would be methane. And how to write? Meth plus ane, methane. This is ethane. This is propane, this is butane, next would be pentane, hexane, heptane, septane. Okay, so in the same manner this is going on increasing, and how you are going to complete this homologous series, and this homologous series is going to tell us about the types of bonds which are present. That is, the single covalent bond is present in these homologous series of alkane, and alkane is containing the difference of the carbon atom by 1 and hydrogen atom by 2. So this was about the homologous series, children. Now I move on to the next topic of this chapter, that is, we have started it yesterday, but still I need to complete this. So I'm using this again. Now I'm telling this again. Okay, children, so this with this homologous series, I just wanted to conclude it with the definition of this homologous series is that it is a group of organic compounds having same structural and similar chemical properties, in which successive carbon compounds are differing by CH4. So what does the definition of homologous series says? Homologous series is a group of homologous series is a group of organic compounds having similar structural and chemical properties in which or with successive compound differ by CH4 group. Okay, so one CH4 group will be different in the next homologous or the member of the homologous series. Okay children, so this was about the homologous series, where this is a group of organic compounds having the similar structural and the chemical properties with the successive compounds, where the successive compounds are going to differ by CH4 group. Okay, if we talk about the homologous series, as we have seen here, CH4 was there, C2H6 was there, C3H8 was there. So if we compare the two homologs, we will find that there is a difference of only one CH4 group and the next homolog is ready. Okay, so this was about the homologous series children. Now I'll just discuss on to the, I'll move on to the next topic, that is the IUPAC name. But see, in this IUPAC name, maximum times we always write the names of the functional group also, but still we are not writing the functional groups only. So I'm just going to tell you about the name, about how to write the alkanes now. And in homologous series also I have taught how to write the names of this, of the compounds, using which is being where we can write down the homologous series. When we are writing the homologs, we are using the same way by which we could easily write down. Okay, so this IUPAC name, as I told you, this is, there are two types of namings. One is common naming and the other one is this IUPAC naming. So this is not much in detail, so I'm just going to tell you how to write the names of alkanes only. So this homologous, this IUPAC name, this IUPAC word stands for International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. So this, what is its full form? It is the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. Okay, so this is about the full form of this IUPAC name. So this tells us about the that it is an organization, or I must say that this is one of the union, or it is just the, you could say it is just like an organization which is always giving the names of the different compounds based upon its rules. Okay, so what are the rules for writing the IUPAC name? And as there are common names, that is common names could be many are common names. Okay, so I'm not talking about the functional group, that is why it is difficult for making me understand also, but still I'm trying it to explain without using the functional groups. So this IUPAC name is always based upon that functional groups maximum times. So how you're going to write if functional groups are not present, how that alkane word has come, how that ethane, methane, propane and butane word has come. So the answer for this is writing this IUPAC name. So what are the rules for writing IUPAC name? So the first rule is that we will always select the longest chain of carbon for writing the names. We'll select the longest chain of carbon atom. Then next, if it is having a side chain or an alkyl group, then what to do? We'll always take up the alkyl group present on the side chain are considered to be the substituent, or that has to be named separately. So the side chain will always contain alkyl group, that will be named first. Okay, it will be named first and separately. So this is the second point, is important, that the side chains which are present in the chain structure of carbon atom, so that would be taken separately and that would be named first. I'll just show you how to name it just now after this explanation. Okay, so this and I have told you how to write down how to pronounce these alkyl groups. So we can pronounce this alkyl group by methyl group, propyl group, methyl group, butenyl group. Okay, butyl group. So this is how, or ethyl group. Okay, so this is how we are going to pronounce this, and we know that this is going to differ by one hydrogen atom. Okay, so that would be decreased in the there would be one decrease in the hydrogen atom. Similarly, we will see that there could be the longest chain of carbon atom we will always select the longest chain of carbon atom, and which longest chain we will, and the time, the longest chain, when we are using that longest chain, or when we are selecting the longest chain, we will select in that way when, from where this branch chain is coming earlier. Okay, we will select the longest chain, we will start numbering that longest chain from where, from the side chain is near. Okay, so we'll always we are always going to number that longest chain of carbon. We'll start numbering that longest chain from where this side chain is going to come first. Okay, now next is that the position of the alkyl group is going to indicate the number of carbon atom which is going to be there. Okay, so that here in the side chain also we are going to count the number of alkyl groups. Okay, we'll always count the fourth rule says that count the carbon atoms of side chain with the longest chain of carbon atom. Okay, so these are the rules for writing the IUPAC name. Now the last rule says that when the IUPAC name of the compound is obtained by writing the position of the alkyl group first, and then we will write down and this longest chain is also known as the parent chain. This is also known as the parent chain. Okay, and the side chain will always be the next part would be the side chains which are present. Okay, so here the last point is that IUPAC name will be completed when we start the name with side chain. And what else we are going to write? We are always going to write the position of the position of this is also being written, and also the position of the parent chain. Okay, so these are the rules of writing the IUPAC name of any homologous series. So what was the first rule? The first rule is select the parent chain. Okay, and the longest chain would be selected. The second rule says then we will count the side chains also. So we will count the carbon atoms including that side chain and that parent chain. Okay, next we will see we will start numbering the parent chain from the side where is that side chain going to come near. Okay, we will select that particular chain, the particular parent chain from that side only where the side chain is going to come first. Okay children, now next what we need to do is that we are going to write the name. We are going to start the IUPAC name with that side chain, and then we are going to number that side chain, and then we will count the number of carbon atoms present in the parent chain. So this was all about the rules of writing the IUPAC name, children. So today we have studied about the rules of writing the homologous part of, or you could write the IUPAC name. So these were the rules for writing. So children, I'll discuss with some examples in the next videos, and many names I would be suggesting you how to write and how to write down or how to complete writing those parent chain, how to select the parent chain, how to number the parent chain, and how to include that side chain in it. Okay, so this was all about the IUPAC name in this class, children. I'll come up with some more examples of for better explanation of this rules that would make more clear to you all, and you would also understand how to write these IUPAC name, children. Okay, so that's all for today's video. I will meet you all in the next video with the next topic to be discussed with you all, that would be based upon the naming of the carbon compounds.